There are a lot of Tier 8 premiums in World of Tanks Blitz. In fact, if we add on collectors as well, there are exactly 100 Tier 8 collectors and premiums. That's kind of insane when you think about it, and it shows just how many vehicles there are to get your hands on. With so many options, it can be very tricky for somebody to pick the best tank out of the bunch to get into their garage if they especially have a limited amount of gold. So in today's video, I'm going to be listing my top 5 picks for the best Tier 8 premiums in the game. Some of them are quite overpowered. In fact, I would say the majority of the list features overpowered vehicles, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's get right into it. And starting off in the number 5 position, we have this really ugly tank. Well, I mean, the vehicle itself is kind of ugly, but it's not the worst thing ever. It's the Tornvon. I think the tank actually looks pretty nice with the cyber camos on it, but yeah, it's not the prettiest vehicle. The Tornvon is kind of a ridiculous tank in a couple aspects. First of all, it has a really solid gun. If you compare this 400 Alpha gun to that of a Soviet or Chinese style, it absolutely blows them out of the water. I mean, a 112.2 has .389 dispersion, this is .326, and while its aiming time isn't anything insane, that's just still really solid accuracy. The vehicle also has really good pen, 240 on the standard, 280 on the gold, and it's APCR, so you're going to butter through spaced armor. It's got good damage per shot at 400, and 10 degrees of gun depression. It's even fairly mobile, reverses at 14, has a top speed of 37, and a pretty good power to weight of 15.8. So what's the thing about the Tornvon that allows it to be so capable? Well, it's quite simple. It's the armor. This vehicle's upper plate and turret are nearly impossible to pen while using it on a hull down position. On flat ground, the armor is awful. I mean, you can literally overmatch the sides, the lower plate is incredibly weak, basically a tier 5 could probably pen you in the lower plate. But if you manage to hide the hull and show the turret, there's really nothing that people can do to you. This thing is basically a Concept 1B, just at tier 8, and it actually has more alpha damage than the Concept, which is kind of insane. It's not slow, which is something that really limits the tank on PC, and it also doesn't have bad DPM. I mean, it's not great damage per minute, but if you compare it to any other heavy, it's more than enough to get the job done. So what do we have up against us? We have an IS-5, we have a 112.2, and a Smasher. Obviously, all very dangerous tanks. You can see the fairly decent accuracy as we snap the IS-5 on the move, and this is where the Tornvon feels kind of insane, because, like, what is this guy supposed to do against me? And while he does that, we just snap him right in the turret. We back on up, keep our turret facing towards him, and we chill right here. This IS-5 is seriously like, what the heck do I do, brother? Alright, well, we're going to aim it on the IS-5 again, and bonk, there you go. So we have taken 1200 HP off of that vehicle, and in return we have bled nothing. The IS-5 gets bonked by the SU. Unfortunately, the SMV is able to shoot our teammate, which is obviously not what we want. I'm not too worried about the SMV, but that player can actually cut through my armor, which obviously is a bit of a threat. So we're going to aim it on the Smasher. Smasher does pen me, but that's most likely because I overexposed the hull. That was just a me problem positioning the vehicle incorrectly. So we're going to maneuver up a bit. We're going to aim it on the Smasher, and this is obviously the kind of position... Okay, well, that was unfortunate, but you'll notice that the Smasher really can't do anything to me. So this is the kind of position... Oh, we're lagging. Oh, God. Okay, we're good, we're good. This is the kind of position you want to drive a vehicle like the Tornvon. So we get a nice shell into the Smasher. Obviously, at this time frame, just going to make sure that he can't really do much to me. Going to stay here, try and hold off the SMV. Hopefully the SMV ends up bouncing me. That is a super duper dangerous tank, though, so I want to try and clear that player as quickly as possible. We get a nice shell into his vehicle. We do have a teammate behind us. It's just the fact that you can't push this vehicle is what makes it so stupid. I mean, if you could easily push this tank and take it out, it wouldn't be that broken of a vehicle. But it's the fact that there's almost no counter to it that allows you to absolutely dominate in the battlefield. So we have the Shota T45, and he's a little lost right now, but hopefully he'll figure it out. I obviously want to clear the Smasher. That's the big threat on my mind. We obviously also have the WZ. You just shot. Alright, let's see. He's going to poke it, and bonk. There you go. Definitely worth it to clear that player over everybody else, just because of the fact that is such a dangerous tank. Now, the WZ, I don't even think has enough gun depression to pen me. As we can see, that is obviously the case, and we finish him off. So yeah, we didn't do anything insane in this battle. We picked up 2,900 damage though, which is a lot, especially for a battle we barely put any effort into. You get hull down, this tank is basically impossible to stop. And you can see that right here. We can even pull up the stats and you can see that it's the first game I've played in the vehicle. 1,700 blocked, 3k dealt, easily top on the team. I would definitely say that this is one of the hardest vehicles to counter in Tier 8. Making our way into the number 4 position, we arrive at another really, really strong hull-down vehicle, being the Japanese Type 57. This vehicle is similar to the Tornvan in its ways and capabilities. It features a lot of gun depression at 9 degrees. It's got good alpha damage at 430, and it's actually got pretty okay dispersion for the alpha it sits at. It's bad though. It's really bad dispersion and aiming time. But because you've 9 degrees gun depression and a pretty beefy alpha, especially the HU 570, you can very easily work really any ridge hull down. It's got fantastic turret armor, reaches a top speed of 40, reverses pretty quick. It's kind of like if you were to get an Object 252 and turn it into a gun depression heavy, which you can imagine is quite impressive. Now, I'm not going to say the Type 57, again, is insane in any situation, just like the Tornvan. On flat ground, its armor, especially on the lower half, is very weak. Its lower plate is super, super easy to pen, and it has a lot of scenarios where it feels a bit lackluster. But it has the mobility that you want on any heavy. It has the alpha damage, and it looks amazing. I mean, you have to agree, this is probably one of the coolest camos Wargaming has put into the game. It looks epic. There is one thing I should mention that is a big weakness of this vehicle, and that is the rear armor. This vehicle's back is only about 40-50 mils thick, which means that the majority of HE shells, even from lower caliber rounds, have the opportunity to cut through you, which is something you're going to have to keep in mind. But I just think this tank looks amazing. It's such a cool vehicle, and it's been one of my favorite Tier 8s that Wargaming has released. Especially with the shooting animation, you can see the little sides come in, which is really, really cool. So we do have teammates pushing up the mid-hill. I don't know why you would drive an SU-30 there, though. That's a really, really bad decision, especially because, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't need to explain why that's a bad decision. I think all of you already know why. Okay, so I got a couple options here. Option A is to make my way over to the medium flank. Option B is to make my way towards mid and shoot the heavies that might cross over towards the SU-30. I think I'm going to go with option A, go towards the medium flank, because the mediums are usually the more influential tanks, and there you go. We can actually see that the majority of the enemy team has gone over here. Unfortunately, our LTTB has killed himself. He jumped down low, thought he could get away, and didn't. This is why you don't make aggressive maneuvers when you only see one tank spotted, because now dude put himself in an awful spot. We're still slowly heading over here. Hopefully this Helsing gives me a bit of room to make my way up. And nice, okay. Alright, well, we have finally made our way over here, which is obviously quite important. We have the CS crossing, and bonk. Okay, that was just sad. I don't really know what else to say. That was just really sad. Alright, we have our adrenaline on, though, which is obviously pretty important, so we can hopefully get a shell into the CS. He'll bonk me, but we're going to bonk him back for 425, which is obviously pretty good. That's obviously the great thing about having that alpha damage, again, is it means that you can outtrade your opponents, and that's exactly what you can do in this vehicle specifically. So we have the IS-2 off in the back over here, and he's showing me his entire tank, so we're going to aim in. There you go. Look at that, 456 shot. That took off a third of his entire HP. I don't think he enjoyed it. We got the TS-60 spotted. We're going to reload. We got a little bit longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, and... Well, we'll just bonk him in the engine deck. Oh, 547. Oh, man. This tank feels great. Alright, we got a little bit longer left on a reload. We got 5 more seconds. Then we'll easily be able to finish off the Ag Panther with really no effort whatsoever, in my opinion. We're just going to drive over, finish off the Ag Panther. Now we're going to go low. As we can see, the IS-2 does end up bouncing us, and I don't really worry too much about this player. With the 9 degrees gun depression, again, it just makes this tank so flexible on any ridgeline you play it. We can just chill right here, finish off the IS-2, and I mean, this was an incredibly easy game. We didn't get to do that much, to be fair. We're only at about 2,000 damage right now, and I doubt we're going to be able to get much more out, but we didn't need to do much. I mean, this is what the Type 57 just does such a great job at. And you can see here again, we've already accelerated up to our top speed. It's just a very flexible tank. And flexibility, as I always say, is probably the most important thing to have in the game. If you're not flexible, you're going to be in some really awkward situations. So we're going to aim it on the rear of the Sayashu. It's going to take us a bit of time, but with a 527 damage HE into his rear, it was definitely worth the wait. That brought us up to 2,400, which is obviously a pretty juicy chunk. So all that's left at this point is the enemy TS-60, who is probably going to poke somewhere up here. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference between the accuracy of this vehicle and something like the Tornvon. This tank is not accurate. It's anything but accurate. But it obviously features a much better alpha, features much better gun depression, so it has all those advantages that you don't have in the other vehicle. So unfortunately, we do miss the shell on the TS, which means that the Helsing's probably going to clear, but there you go. We actually got 114 damage off with the ram. I guess this thing must be pretty good at ramming. Alright, well that was a 2,500 damage game. Very little effort used again, and I mean, yeah, pretty simple stuff. After the Type 57, we arrive at, our next one is going to be really, really nasty. Yeah, that was only a 3rd class as well. So again, a great example of this tank. Ooh, I'm really excited for the next vehicle. And that one would be an American heavy, specifically the Chrysler K. This tank is ridiculous. My friend Flossie made a video on it just the other day, and he agrees with me. This is probably one of the most underrated, overpowered Tier 8s out there. The upper plate armor on this vehicle is strong enough to go up against higher tiered opponents. The turret armor on this tank would be strong enough to go up against Tier 10s. And when you pair that with the fact that Wargaming buffed the pen to actually be fairly good on this vehicle, it's got basically everything you'd want. And that's not even the best part. The best part about the Chrysler is that it has the mobility of a medium. Yeah, you heard that right. When we get into battle, you're going to notice just how mobile this tank is. It's insane. And it allows you to absolutely stomp lower tiered games with no effort whatsoever. When you're up against higher tiers, yeah, you're not going to YOLO an E75 or an a Mil 2. They're going to crap on you. But when you are still in a side scrape, you have amazing armor, amazing holding capabilities, and it allows this tank to still dominate very easily, or hold at the least. Let's see what the Chrysler can do on Normandy. This is a pretty good map for the vehicle. I'm not going to say, like, it's the best map, but it's not the worst. The Chrysler, if it uses its full gun depression over the sides, can actually get up to 10 degrees, which is quite impressive. So we'll see what we can do here. I'm going to try and work the best I can, but, I mean, their lineup is just flat better than ours in every way. They have an Object 752, T30, and K91, so the chances of us winning alone are already quite small, but, I mean, I've won 2 battles, so the new matchmaker is obviously going to make it, so I'm not able to win 3. Why would I be able to do that? Alrighty, well, as of now, I'm not seeing much. We do have the 752 spotted off to the side. That was obviously never going to hit. But hey, you miss every shot you don't take. So we have the majority of our team over here. Help me on beach. What? What am I listening to? Alright, our M103 pokes. I'm going to aim it on the Braque. Unfortunate. Wow. These are my teammates. Well, let's see. Maybe I can get a shell into the 53. No, not at that angle. This is where the Chrysler definitely feels a bit awkward. I mean, we're doing alright. We finally got a shell out. We haven't bled any health, so not bleeding health is obviously the most important thing you can do in any one of these games. We're going to aim it on the K91. There you go. That is not where I wanted it to go, but we still got it off, so not too much to get mad about there. Got the Braque off to the side, aiming. There you go. 200 damage shell into the Braque. Unfortunately, our M103 is still just sitting out in the open, so we lost an M103 at this point. Well, we got the WZ. Oh, we lost another teammate. Alright, well, let's turn the vehicle side on. There you go. Nice shell into the enemy Super Pershing. Problem is I have no support on my rear now, which is honestly really, really bad. We're just going to keep on chilling here. Let's see, we got the Braque showing me his roof. Oh, we also got the VK. Let's angle it. That way we can obviously get a bounce. He hits us right in the lower plate. That's very unfortunate. We still have tanks covering us, but for how long is really the big question to ask. Have the K91 off to the side. There you go. Nice 318 into his vehicle. We lost another teammate off to the side. Alright, well, alright, let's aim it on the 7.52. There you go. Nice 317. We're up to 2,000 damage now, which is pretty good. The K91 gets bonked, which is obviously also pretty good. Alright, let's see. K91 drives over. We finish off his vehicle. Now we have to get into a side scrape. We get one bounce from the enemy 7.52. We're going to keep on chilling here. The VK not only pens us, but high rolls the pen. We're going to have to angle towards the 7.52. He pens us in the lower plate, which is expected, to be honest. Alright, we got the VK showing me a side. 320 damage shell into his vehicle, and he high rolls again for 470 damage. The Chrysler did fine. I mean, there's nothing I could have done in this game that would have made it a win. It was physically impossible to get this to be a win. We penned every shot we could have. We even angled pretty well. The only problem was the VK didn't care about bleeding health to us, and he high rolled literally every shell, which was really disappointing. But we did get some good bounces overall. The Chrysler is fantastic, as you saw. I mean, we held against tier 9s. We were able to get out a decent chunk. There's not much positive to say about that battle there, apart from what we were able to do in it. Let's take a look at how much damage we were actually able to pull out that game. We did 2,900, and we blocked 400, so, I mean, we did all right. And, yeah, I mean, yeah, the matchmaker's great, guys. It's great. Oh well, that's the Chrysler for you. It's a great tank. I'm just not gonna really suffer any more than I have to playing Blitz today. So let's move on to the number 2 position, which is a vehicle that we are actually just shooting at. Tier 8 French medium, the Shota Braque. This vehicle is incredible. It features a double shot gun, which can deal 620 damage in like 2-3 seconds, depending on how long you aim and things like that. Not only does the Braque have a really big alpha damage for the vehicle, but it's fast. It reaches top speed over 60. It's got a pretty accurate gun. It's got decent penetration. Kind of has it all. It even has decent armor. It's very hard to penetrate with high explosive ammunition. We got an okay matchup here. We're not up against tier 9s. This vehicle does pretty well against tier 9s, though, because you don't need the armor. You know, it's all the gun. So we'll see what we can do here. Let's start off by maneuvering our way into the front of base A. Hopefully we can get some good bonkeroonies. We'll see. We'll see. They got a Pantera, a Progetto, and a T-3042, and a 1390. So they have 4 mobile vehicles. And we've actually spotted the Progetto already. We're not detected ourselves, though, with that prog making... Okay, well, that made me very sad. But, ooh, and that low rolled 250? All right, all right. Off to a great start, I can see. Wouldn't it be amazing if the prog just YOLO'd us? It would be kind of funny. All right, we got 7 seconds left. This vehicle, while it doesn't feature a lot of DPM, doesn't really need it, because as we can see, you reload the clip and then you bonk. So, like, we got the T-3042 here. There's one 350 damage shell, and that's 654. Now we just back up. I mean, that's kind of stupid what we just did there. We've bled 0 health ourselves, and we've been able to bring what was a full health T-3042 with a bit of help from our teammate to basically nothing. 122 TM is going to bonk the prog. We're going to reload, and I would love to get that Progetto, but at this current angle, we're not able to get them. I'm also rather confused on how we're spotted, to be real, but the 122 gets a nice clear, which is pretty important. And we're going to go wide. We're going to see if we can get the 34-2 cleared. Let's load an HE, finish him off. Let's put on our reload. Alright, not a bad result so far. Our team has cleared 3 of their tanks, but you know, Wargaming fixed the matchmaker. Steamrolls don't exist anymore, guys. Alright, so let's reload. And we got the SMV haul down in the back, which is obviously an incredibly dangerous vehicle. So we do have to be very cautious on how we take apart his tank. But there you go. 1 shell into the SMV and 2 shells. That is 600 HP we've taken off of his tank, and we back in the cover once again. This is what allows the Braque to be overpowered. This is definitely an OP tank, because, I mean, I've bled nothing. I've done all this damage, and in return, all we've had to do is poke, bonk, and back in the cover. It really is an insanely dangerous vehicle. We have the Luva off to the side. We got 1 pen out. We're going to load in on his hatch. Unfortunately, the shell does not end up hatching him. I mean, it does technically hatch him, but it doesn't pen. But that's all right. We're just going to chill. We're going to reload. Oh, we got the Scepter in front of us here. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Okay, we're good. We reload a little bit longer. Let's see. We're going to aim it on the side of the Scepter. There's 1, and there's 2. That's another 600 HP we've taken off, and we reload again. This is so dumb. I mean, the Scepter was just pretty healthy, and now he's 300 HP. We have the AMX 1390 off to the side, and that's obviously a big target I need to clear. So we're going to push the 1390. We got 1 pen into his tank, and dead. There you go. So the 1390 is gone. That was the biggest threat on the enemy team. So now that player's cleared, we don't need to worry about that. All that's left is the Luva and the Scepter. We might just be able to chill right here. There's no way we're still spotted. I refuse to believe that. The Luva is smart enough to know that we were there. So let's aim it on his tank. Oh, unfortunate. There you go. We got the second pen out. 300 damage. We are all the way over 3k at this point. We're at 3,400. And we haven't really needed to do much. I mean, this is why the tank is great. It's so easy to just bonk people in. So the T-49 is going to rush the Luva. And is he going to pen? Well, that's an entirely different question. He does not. He fires HE. I'm not really sure why. Obviously, standard ammo would have been the correct ammunition loadout there. But we're going to get to the side of you. Got 1 pen. Our teammate clears him. And there you go. That was a 3,700 damage result. The Braque is just insane. I mean, there really is nothing else to say about the vehicle. The gun is incredible, the mobility is great, and the damage output is stupid. And there you go, that's an ace. I mean, I love playing this tank, and we were easily able to do pretty good there. Our team didn't do bad either, I'll give them credit. I mean, we had a couple stragglers who did pretty poor, but the majority of our team did a decent job, which allowed me to use my mobility and clear the opponents at will. So the final tank we have for today's video is another double shot tank, and I'm pretty sure most of you already know what it is. It's the T-77. I mean, this is the most overpowered tank in Tier 8. It's probably one of the most OP tanks in the game. Deals just shy of 800 damage in 2.5 seconds, with a vehicle that has great armor, decent mobility, and 10 degrees of gun depression. It's a little stupid. It's honestly really stupid. So this is definitely a tank that I would recommend anybody to pick up if they want an overpowered vehicle. Alrighty, here we are in another game. What do we have up against us? Well, we have a T-77, a Smasher, Shota T-45, Chrysler K. Okay, we'll see what we're able to do here. Let's start off by making our way towards mid. Hopefully it does pretty well, but we'll see. We will see. We have the Basilisk, we have the Chrysler K. Okay, I mean, I think we should do alright. Oh, that Chrysler's making a very poor maneuver, and there you go. That's just absolutely insane. We just took a full health Chrysler and brought him down to basically nothing. I mean, you can already see what allows this tank to be kind of insane. So, let's see. Let's reload again. We've got a little bit longer, and bonk. Aw, I was really hoping that would pen, but that's alright. We got the T-77 in front of us, so we just bonked the T-77 instead, and we back up again. Alright, that's 1,130 damage. And we just chill here. I mean, this is what allows this tank to be overpowered, is just the waiting. You know, you don't need to make any aggressive plays. You just wait for your opponents to make mistakes, and you farm them off of those mistakes. So we got 1 shell into the Shota T-45, 2 shells into the T-45. His full health tank is now down half of his entire HP. Now, unfortunately, doesn't really matter what we do in this battle. Looks like we're going to win or lose either way here, especially with that SMV hull down on the ridge. There's just not much I can probably do against that. We're going to head wide and see if we can get some damage into these heavies over here. That's really the only situation I think we can take advantage of. Oh, there's the T-77, there's the Shota. Let's go for a tracking shell. We pen him once, and he's dead. I mean, there you go. Again, the accuracy on this gun is great. We're at 2,700 damage at this point. We've got 10 seconds left on our reload, so we're just going to wait here. Hopefully that T-77 drives over the ridge, but I guess we'll find out. Alright. Let's see. Hopefully we can get some damage. There's 1 pen, 371, and 2 pens, 349. So there you go. 3,400 damage. There's nothing else we're going to be able to do this game, to be honest. Apart from probably lose. The only thing I'm kind of hoping we could possibly do is, like, drive this way. Maybe, just maybe. Come on, get over. Yes! Alright. we might be able to get just a little bit more damage out this battle, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. We have the Smasher off to the side. Let's back on up. There you go. 1 shell into the T-77 and 2 shells. There you have it. Well, we got the clear somehow. 4,000 damage. I mean, this tank is incredible. Would definitely recommend for anybody that wants a vehicle like the T-77 or a double shot tank in general that's kind of OP. This is the way to go because 4K, I mean, it's insane. Again, the matchmaker, I mean, look at my team, guys. What am I supposed to do about that? But even with that team, the fact that we were able to get out that much damage, it really says everything I need to for today's video. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the T-77. What do you think about the rest of the vehicles I showed in today's video? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my video? Let me know. But these are obviously my picks for the top 5 best tier 8s in the game. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.